I'ma make you live in hell. Boy, did that backfire on him. Man broke into ex's home to attack her after sending 250 text messages in one day.
One day before 20-year-old Joshua Bermea burglarized his ex's home in November 2023, he texted his ex 250 times, threatening to kill her. Leading up to this, the woman first reported to New Braunfels police in September 2023 that Bermea was following her in his vehicle and making threats. She also told officers he threatened to crash into her vehicle. Then 2 months later, Bermea sent 250 messages to his ex, some threatening to kill her and hurt her family. That next day, the woman called police saying Bermea broke into her home and assaulted her, at one point choking her. After leaving, Bermea sent her another message saying no one was there to protect her and he'll be back to finish the job.
Listen, not to seem selfish or anything, but this makes me look great. This definitely puts me on the other side of that stalker spectrum because you won't get not one text message from me if you tell me it's over. I'm not asking for any explanations. I would probably be like, oh, good, something just freed itself off my schedule, then go take a nap. This makes me feel better about not having those sort of attachments. In that time for text, that wasted time, that time that eventually turned into prison time. And mind you, at 50 years, each text rounds out to about 73 days of jail time. You could do 250 push-ups. You could do 250 sit-ups. Hell, you could say 250 Hail Marys. If you have the faith, the possibilities are endless. Hell, you could have DM'd 250 potential new girlfriends. It's a world of options. A Texas man will spend several decades behind bars after abusing a woman he once dated, according to Lone Star State authorities. He got 40 years for the assault and then another 10 years for drug possession, I believe. On Thursday, Joshua Bermea, only 20 years old, pleaded guilty to one count of burglary of a habitation with intent to commit a felony other than theft. He also pleaded guilty to a separate drug offense. The defendant was swiftly sentenced by 274th District Court Judge Gary Steele to 40 years in prison for the burglary conviction with an additional 10 years for the drug-related conviction. The court assessed the sentences to run consecutively or one after another. So that means after he does his 40 years, then they'll send him to do the other 10 years as opposed to running concurrently when both sentences will run on the same time frame. The underlying incidents date back to the fall of 2023, according to a press release issued by the Como County District Attorney's Office after the woman dumped the defendant. Good for her. Bermea continued to harass and threaten her. Authorities said, you gotta leave her alone. You're 20 years old, you hit the gym, you read some books, you go for that better job position, then you come back, you work on a couple more relationships. It's like building a skill. It's like building a muscle being in relationships. You're not gonna fall in love with the first woman you meet. You're not gonna spend the rest of your life with the first woman that you date. It's possible, but it's a fairy tale to think that it's gonna end like that every time. Here's a little bit of wisdom from someone who just doesn't care about you at all. You don't have to get help. That's superstition. That's just a suggestion. That's new age philosophy, self-help crap. Here's what you do. You stay yourself. Never pivot, never change. How else will a woman learn to love the real you if you keep reinventing yourself? But you don't give the same old girlfriend the same old issues. That's when it becomes problematic. Get a new girlfriend every time so the problems are brand new for her. It's called a reset. You keep the problems fresh by changing the person that you're giving them to. On September 22nd, 2023, the victim told police Bermea followed her in his vehicle while he was calling her on the phone and threatening her. During this harassment, the since condemned man told the woman he was going to rear end her vehicle. Leave that girl alone. Don't you have something better to do than chase this woman around, driving and texting, driving and being on a heightened, agitated phone call? You're going to get into an accident. And one message he said, I'm going to make you live in hell, which is very ironic because 50 years in jail seems like hell to me. And the abuse indeed continued on November 8th, 2023 through the course of just that one day in question. Bermea sent approximately 250 text messages to the victim. Is the day that long for you to do something like that? You know they just weren't simple sentences. I love you. I miss you. Let's get back together. Call me, please. I need the tube to come home. They were complete paragraphs, 1,000 characters and better. Many of those messages were were threatening, aggressive, and derogatory, prosecutors said. I bet. Specifically, the defendant threatened to kill the victim, hurt her family, and slash the tires on her vehicle. Leave that woman alone. Go on and live your life. In one message, the defendant told the woman, I'm gonna hurt the expletive out of you. Just expletive. Wait, and this is where it gets very concerning. This is where it gets very scary, because these type of people, clearly they don't respect boundaries. They're not going to respect the piece of paper from the court saying stay away. They're not going to respect that at all. They only respect the bullet in the head, or if the police forcefully takes them away. And most of the time, the police don't get to them in time until they've actually hurt that person that needs the protecting. It's very concerning. On November 9th, 2023, the woman reported that she had been assaulted by Bermea, according to the New Braunfels Police Department. I bet leaving her alone, you know somebody either in your corner or from her family side told you to leave that woman alone so many times before it came to this. I bet you it doesn't seem like a bad idea now as you're telling your story to your new jailhouse spouse, playing the tape over and over in your head. At 20, think about it, at 20, even if you don't do the whole 50 years, you'll have done more time in jail than you have lived your life as a free man. Do you know what hell really is? I don't, but I'm pretty sure living under a bunch of grown men's farts for the next few decades is pretty damn close.
Sarah Simone, one day before the burglary happened in November of 2023, 20-year-old Joshua Bermea sent his ex 250 messages threatening to kill her. Now, leading up to all of this, the woman first reported to New Braunfels police in September 2023 that Bermea was following her in his vehicle making threats. The police also learned Bermea said he was going to crash into her vehicle. Then on November 8th, Bermea sent 250 messages to his ex. Some involved Bermea threatening to kill her and hurt her family. That next day, the woman called police saying Bermea broke into her home and assaulted her, at one point choking her. After leaving, Bermea sent her another message saying no one was there to protect her and he'll be back to finish the job. Bermea pleaded guilty to these crimes and will have to serve 50 years in prison, 40 for the burglary charge, and then 10 for drug possession.
Bermea entered the victim's home without permission. The DA's office explained when she told him to leave, he took her phone, that's kidnapping, and began assaulting her. He slapped and backhanded her repeatedly, pushed her to the ground, and punched her in the body and legs. At one point, Bermea placed both hands around her neck and choked her, preventing her from breathing. You are out of pocket. You deserve every last day they gave you and then more. During the attack, Bermea hit the woman so hard that one of her ears began to ring and she briefly lost her hearing, law enforcement said. After the attack, Bermea dropped and broke the woman's phone. After leaving the scene of the crime, he sent the victim another message that read, I'll be back one night to finish. Where's your protector? He wasn't there. Nobody to protect you. You are expletive. Of course, I love to hear your thoughts on this. I love to hear your opinions on this. There you have it, kids. Joshua Bermea. If you have a hard time dealing with rejection, if you have a hard time getting dumped, you have a long life ahead of you. If you can't take these type of things happening to you, then you don't need to be in a relationship. You need to work on yourself before you talk about being with somebody.